This conference will now be recorded.
Was there class yesterday?
No, we did not have a class yesterday, so we'll start today.
Okay.
Okay. So now what we plan to do today is our mini project, okay? Or we can say that we plan to build a HA architecture, okay? Now what when I say HA, it is highly available. So if you think like a professional, where you say why do I need AWS or what am I going to do with AWS? So AWS is generally used to host websites, and these websites should be scalable, they should be fault tolerant, they should have a disaster recovery plan, and at any point of time the customer should not be facing a problem or a connectivity issue. Basically, he should not be having that 404 issue, that the web page is not available. Now if for a period of time the web page is not available or my website is down, so I lose business for that amount of time. So at any point of time, you will not like or you will not want that your website is down and you are losing customers. Similarly, if I have designed an application, let me say like Ola or Uber, and for 3 hours it is down, it means for 3 hours I lost the business, or I lost a good amount of money because of that. So my motive will always be that I design an application which is highly available in case there is a failure. So it should be fault tolerant, means it should be able to tolerate the fault, and there should be a disaster recovery which should immediately take place and make my website up and running. So this is what we are. Wait, I'll share my screen. So our website basically should be something like this, where there will be users over internet. They have something called, or we have something called Route 53, which will convert our DNS name to a IP address, which in turn will have load balancers, which in turn we will go to our web or our web servers, which will have a database, and this entire thing will be under auto scaling group. So it will scale accordingly, scale down, scale in, whatever it is, so it will happen accordingly. Okay, and the replica, the same thing I have replicated somewhere else, so that in case this thing fails, I can quickly switch to this place and or this region and make my website always up and running. Okay, so we will be doing, or we are planning to do something like this. Now I have already discussed this question, and let me come to this. Now this is the architectural diagram which I have, and we will build our website on basis of this. Okay, so if you see here, I have users who are there over internet, and they want to, one second. Copy. One second, one second, one second, one second. Okay, so my motive is to build a website or a web server like this. So I'm internet facing. So internet facing in the sense there are users over internet who will come and use my website. Okay, then I have Route 53. Route 53 will allow my users to change the DNS name and then route it to the corresponding load balancer. This load balancer is linked with my auto scaling group, and there down the line I have my security groups, my EC2 instance, which is again linked to my database. And I also make a provision of backing up my code in this bucket, WordPress code bucket, and I back my media content or my you can say images there in the media bucket. Apart from that, I want that every time the internet user should not come to my media bucket or to my EC2 instance to get the images. So I will bring something called CloudFront into picture. When I bring CloudFront into picture, I have something called cache memory, and this cache memory will be using my edge location concept, and then it will help me to get my data in a easy and a very fast manner. So what all things are we planning to do? So we are planning to create bucket. We are planning to create security groups, EC2 instance, IAM role, RDS, CloudFront, Route 53, then application load balancer, auto scaling group. So basically, whatever till now we have covered, we will be using most of the stuffs, and we will make our website up and running. So let's quickly jump to our console and we'll start our work. At any point of time, if you don't understand or you find yourself uncomfortable, please ask a question, or you can unmute yourself and you can say that I did not understand this, and I'll just let you know how can we make that thing happen. So first thing first, so what I want is I'll create two S3 buckets. Okay, one is media bucket and one is your code bucket. Okay, and you can name anything, that's not a problem. So let me come here and let me say S3, enter. I don't have any bucket, so let me create a bucket. So I will say project dot bucket dot say code dot 2020, something like this. It is in North Virginia. I don't have any properties. Create. Okay, 2020. This already exists. Okay, change it. Bucket 2020 dot code. Create. So one bucket is created, project bucket 2020 code. I'll create one more bucket. Only difference, it will be not code, it will be media. So let me create one more bucket, project dot name, project dot bucket dot, the name can be anything. Okay, it's not mandatory. 2020, just to differentiate, I have put it like that, media. Again, North Virginia, and I say create. So I have two buckets, code bucket, media bucket. Okay, then first activity done. Then what I want, this is done. I want to create a CloudFront distribution. So let me start with CloudFront. So CloudFront, if you see, it is there in your global content delivery network. Click here. And it says Amazon CloudFront getting started. So I'll create a distribution, and it says, so if you want to know more about this, you can read this content. So this thing will help you, but I don't think you'll need much. As I told you earlier, CloudFront is of two types. If you are hosting a website like Netflix, where you have lot of audio files, video files, and those kind of content, you go for RTMP distribution. Okay, but if you are having a normal website with normal web pages and HTTPS content, HTML, CSS, PHP, that kind of content, you go for web. So let me go for web, get started. Here, if you see origin domain name, so who will be the source? From where are you trying to pull the content? So let me click here, and it is giving me the options. It can be a S3, it can be a load balancer. Currently, I don't have any load balancer. It can be media, it can be all these things. So I'm choosing my Amazon S3 bucket, and that to the media bucket. Let me click here. Origin path is inside the bucket. If you have some specific folder, then you can give a name, else not needed. At any point of time you need any information, just click here on that I, and it will give you the information what this box stands for. Okay, then do you want to restrict bucket access? Means, do you want that people should not be able to see the content? No, I want that people should see the content, so I am giving no. Origin, customer, header, leave all these things. I don't need anything. These things I will leave default. I don't want to touch anything. Do you want your cached content? Yeah, cached content. Do you want other options like improved caching? Now, if you go for improved caching, obviously you can do that, but it will charge you some money. Then there is something called TTL. Yeah, there is something called TTL. Now TTL is time to live. It means till what point of time the content will be there. Even if you don't see or you don't do anything to that content, till what point it will be there. So if says maximum TTL is this much, means and this time is in seconds basically. So for this much time or this much time it will always be there. Once nobody is seeing it, it will automatically get deleted. Okay, but you can change this. Okay, and you there is an interview question here which says that I have changed my content in my media bucket, or I have changed my media content, still my customers are not able to see the latest version. Okay, or you can say that I had a movie playlist and I refreshed my movie playlist, but still my customers are seeing the old playlist. What could have gone wrong? So you can say that in your CloudFront, the cache memory limit or the TTL is high. Because the TTL is high, that's why the memory has not got refreshed. So you should go and change your TTL. Okay, if you do a hard refresh, means if you go there and flush your CDN or your CloudFront, you will be charged extra money. So make sure that your TTL is not very less, it is not very high. Okay, if you want cookies, if you want string and all those things, if you want smooth streaming like Amazon Prime and Netflix, choose yes. If you want restrict viewer access, now what is restrict viewer access? So if you have a website like Netflix or Amazon Prime where you first want your customers to log in and then only you will allow them to go inside, else you will not allow them to go inside. So in that case you will use this restrict viewer access. Okay, then automatically compress lambda. As of now nothing, I'm not touching anything. Price, so it will tell you which price class. So if you use the best performance one, okay, so there are some in US, Canada only, then again like that. So we are only eligible for this, so we'll use this WAF. Now if WAF is your firewall, okay, so if you want WAF you can enable that. I'm not doing anything. SSL certificate, so this is basically your SSL certificate. This is your SSL certificate. If you want, you can choose this. I'm going for the default one. I don't have a custom one. Let me go down. HTTP, HTTPS, bucket, and everything looks good to me. I just say create a distribution. So mostly I have used all the default features. Now it is in progress. It will take some time and it will get created. Okay, so I'll wait for some time for the creation to happen. Meanwhile, I'll go back and I will do few more things. Okay, so I'm done with these two. So I need two EC2 instances now, RDS also. Okay, so let me go first create a EC2 instance. So service EC2. Now before creating a EC2 instance, what I will do is I'll create security groups. Okay, and my diagram or my work will be something like this. If you go back here, no, sorry. If you go back here, you see that though these two are connected. So anybody who wants to talk to my database has to first enter into my EC2 instance and then only he will be able to come inside. So I will make that arrangement. Okay. So to make that arrangement, I will do something here. So I will come to security group and let me delete this. No, sorry, I will not be able to delete this because I'm using it and I have a default VPC. So I'll create two new security groups basically. Okay, so create a security group. So let me say name is project hyphen security group hyphen EC2. Let me say I have named it like this. Control C, Control V. It is in default VPC. Inbound traffic means who all can come inside. So I will say SSH. I will say from anywhere, anybody can come and do a SSH. So SSH. I will add a rule. I also want HTTPS or HTTP to come in. Again, anybody from anywhere can come and do a HTTP. Now I also want HTTPS. Okay, again, anywhere, and I will say HTTPS. Done. add rule no. Then in outbound, if you see, it is everything is allowed, all traffic, means anybody can go outside, but people or traffic can come only from port 22, port 80 and port 443. Done. I'll create this. So first security group is created. So this is the name. I will use the name here also. Done. Then I'll copy this thing. Okay, this group ID, basically I need this. Sorry, I need this. I'll copy this. Control C, and I'll create one more security group, and I will name this as project hyphen RDS hyphen project hyphen RDS hyphen security group. Same thing I'll give it here also, project hyphen RDS hyphen security group, and add rules. Now here if you see, I will add a custom rule and I will allow port 3306, but it's a custom port, and I will say this thing. So basically I am saying, if you want to connect, first connect to the previous this security group, which is basically my web DMZ one, the one which is with associate, which I'm going to associate with the EC2, and then I will allow you to connect to my 3306 port. Okay, so I'll say custom. Done. Create. What happened? Did not get created or got created? Okay, did not get created. Let me create it again in that case. So project SG, I will copy this thing, okay, this name basically, and I'll create a security group. Due to some reason it did not get created, so I will say project hyphen I will say security group hyphen RDS. Okay, same thing, project hyphen security group hyphen RDS. There in the default VPC. In inbound, I'm adding a traffic, or I'm adding a rule which is nothing but 3306 custom, and I'll give this name. I will say this is a custom, and I will say create. So this is the second one. This is the second one. Control V. Done. So I have two EC2, two RDS instance, two security groups basically. One which is open to port 80, port 443, and port 22, and the other one is indirectly open to the world. Directly it is open to this instance, and then indirectly it is open to this instance. Okay, so let me change the name basically. So the name will be project hyphen security group hyphen RDS. Done. Now I've created two security groups. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a RDS instance now. So basically these are the instances which I'm going to create. Okay, now multi-AZ thing you will get if you don't use a free, if you're not using a free tier. If you use free tier, that is not going to work. I'll show you just now. So let me come to services, RDS, and I'm going to create a fresh brand new database. So I'll say create database. I don't want any feedback. I go for standard create. I will choose MySQL. I'll be a bit fast here because I know that you people have already practiced this, so you are aware of this. But still, if you are not able to digest at some point of time, please let me know. So I'm not choosing anything. If I choose dev or test, this multi-AZ thing, which will be here at the down, this will be enabled. Okay, but it will cost me a good amount of money, so I'll not be doing that. Okay, but this is what you have to do if you are using it in a proper production environment. So I'll go for free tier. The moment I go for free tier, this will be this is grayed out, means I can't use this option. So I told you multi-AZ is for your disaster recovery and your read replica is for performance. So be aware of that. They may ask questions on this. So because I'm using free tier, I'm not eligible for multi-AZ. Amazon does not give that facility. Okay, fine, no problem. So I'll create the database and I'll give the database as now my first DB 123. Okay, similarly in credentials also I am going to use the same thing because I tend to forget the name. If you want, you can give separate names for yourself. Okay, password, I don't want an auto generated password. The same password, same is the name, username, password, same I have given. DB instance, because I'm using free version, I don't have anything better than T2 micro. So if you see, everything else is grayed out, I can't choose anything else. Storage 20 GB is what they're giving. They say, do you want storage auto scaling? I can bring it up to 16384 GB. I say no, I don't want. Multi-AZ I cannot do. Connectivity, I'm using the default VPC. Here I will change something. I'll change this thing. So subnet default, let it be. Publicly accessible, no, I don't want it to be publicly accessed. I'm saving some private data, so I don't want it to access publicly, so I will store it privately. So no. VPC, I don't want the default one, rather I want one which I have created. So if you see, I have created this one. So this is selected here now. Done. Let me go down. Availability zone, no preference. Port 3306, I have already opened that. Password authentication, I am doing manually. I'm not using IAM. Then any additional configuration if you would like to do. Yeah, the DB name, I'll give it again. Additional configuration, no. Backup, do you want? First make it 0 days and then only uncheck this, else it will keep on taking backup. Monitoring, I don't want. Logs, I don't want. Maintenance, I don't want. Basically all these things will charge you money, so I don't take any of such features from Amazon. I'm just launching a very simple database and this will get launched. So it says confirm that Amazon RDS SSL TLS certificate are up to date. Okay, fine, I'm okay with that. Submit. So they have some update available and they're saying that do you want to continue with the previous version what you have. So I'm saying yeah, I'm okay with that. So they are saying that okay, I'm creating this for you. So this is in creating phase now. Let it get created. Okay, done. So done with this also. So at this point of time, I've done with this. Let me go to EC2. Now to make EC2, I need IAM also. So let me first go to IAM. Now why I need IAM? Because I will create a role where my EC2 can talk with my S3 basically. Okay, so I'll come to role. Here I will say create a role. I will create a role for EC2. I will say permission next. I will choose an existing policy. So the policy is S3 full. So I'll choose the existing policy. I will add a tag. I will say name S3 full for project. I'll name it like this. Okay. So name done. Review. Give a name. So I will say role S3. I'll say S3. Sorry, S3 for. Sorry, S3 project for. Okay, wait. S3 role for project. I'll give it like this. Role for project. Okay, same thing, I'll put it here also. These names are up to you, anything you can give. Amazon full access, create role. Okay, this role is ready for me. Now I will come to EC2 instance and I'll create a EC2 instance, which is a virtual server in cloud. EC2. Okay, so let me start with EC2. So at this point of time, I will create only one EC2 instance, and later I will scale it up. Okay, so launch an instance. What type of instance are you going to use? I'm going to use a free instance. I'm going to use an Amazon Linux machine. Select. I'm going to use T2 micro. I'm not going to spend money here. T2 micro. I'm going to use one instance only. I want on demand. I'm not touching on network placement group. In IAM role, I will be using the role which I have just now created. So I'll attach my role, shutdown behavior, enable nothing. I'm not going to do anything. Here in advanced detail, I will use a bootstrap script. So the script is basically one which I have already shared with you. If not, I will share it with you in, like after the class. So this is a bootstrap script which I'm going to run here. I'll just explain you what it will do. Control C. Okay, let me explain this. So any script, any Unix script will start like this when it comes to scripting. Bin bash, then yum update -y. I have told you that we use this command to update our hardware basically. Then you do yum install. I'm installing httpd, php, php mysql, and I say -y means don't ask me every time do you want to proceed like that. Then I'll go to this directory which is cd var /www.html. There I will create a web page healthy.html. Then there is a WordPress website available. I will use wget and I will pull the content. If you directly go to the website and click, then it will get downloaded, but it will get downloaded to your local machine. But I want to put it there in my AWS machine. So I say wget and the link. Okay. Then tar is to unzip it. Copy means copy the content to this place. Basically, sorry. Copy the content to this directory where everything will go. Then you remove the zipped file and the unzipped file, both the word files or both the WordPress documents which you have just now downloaded. Remove both of them. Change the permission. I will tell you what WP content will do. Then make Apache :Apache as the owner. Why Apache? Because if I go to httpd, uh, what is httpd? So if you see httpd, it is Apache. So Apache is the owner of this basically. So Apache Software Foundation is the owner of Apache httpd server. That's why I'm making Apache as the owner here. Then again wget, there is a WordPress this thing which is getting deleted here. One second. Then I have check config httpd on, which says that next time when I start my system, you automatically keep everything ready. Then service httpd start is keep the servers up and running and start the services for me. Then I will go add storage. They're giving me 8 GB. I'm okay with that. I will add a tag. In tag, I can simply say name, and the name is project. Project WordPress. Configure security group. In the security group, I will use the one which I have already created. So basically, this is the one which I've already created. I am using port 80 and port 22 and port 443 basically. Review and launch. Launch. Do you have a key value pair? I will say yes, I have a key value pair. Go ahead and launch it. Now it will get launched. It will also run the bootstrap script. So what all things I have done till now? I have the RDS done. I have the EC2 done. I'm left with auto scaling and load balancer. These two things done. Route 53 is pending. CloudFront is done. Okay. So till this point, guys, any doubts or any thing which is stuck or you did not understand, please let me know.
Vikas, I didn't
Okay.
understand the cloud front process. What is the this one? What is the role of the
Okay.
CloudFront.
Yes. Now I think might have missed that class. No worries. Oh, CloudFront. Okay. So see this content. Okay. Able to see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now think like this, that I am a website, okay, which is located somewhere in London, and there are people who want to view the content. Okay. So a very standard way of doing it is that this person wants to view the content, so he can directly view the content. He can directly approach to the website and he can directly pull the content. He will send a get request and he will get the response back. Now, if this thing happens, think how many lines will go here and there like this. It will be a zigzag. Means the network traffic will be terrible. It will be drastically huge. I can't afford that. So what I do, let me, so what I do is, for every user, for or wherever AWS users are there, I create something called edge location. So this is nothing but edge location. So if you remember, when I was discussing about CD, I told that every time you need not go to your head office or your or your main machine, rather you can go to your nearest local Airtel office and you can get your work done. Okay, so this is your edge location. Now what has happened is, as of now, uh, think like this user is not there. Okay, this user is not there. All the green users are not there. They're not there for time being. So when this user wants to see a video, so let me say it is Netflix. When this user wants to see a video, he will or she will request to the edge location. Obviously, for the first time, the edge location does not have that content. So the edge location will request it from the main office and bring the content and put it here. So let me see, it's the Bahubali movie. So this Bahubali movie is present in the cache memory or the edge location or the CloudFront. Okay. Now, from
Vikas,
nearby,
sorry to interrupt.
yeah, please go ahead.
Vikas, so this edge location is not like a data center or anything, right? It is just
No,
another
no,
server which is geographically placed closer to the user who's trying to access it.
exactly,
Is that how
exactly.
it is?
Yeah, exactly. It is like that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you.
Okay. So, mhm.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so these edge locations are located in many various places, right? I mean, we
Exactly.
won't have any knowledge of where these edge locations are or where these
No,
servers
if
are
you
there.
go to
So edge
internet,
location is nothing. Okay.
if you go to internet, Amazon will itself tell you where the edge locations are. Okay, like think like this. We are currently in Bangalore. Okay, Amazon does not have any data center or a availability zone or a region here in Bangalore. But still, we don't get any latency. We get nominal latency. We are connecting to North Virginia and we don't get even a fraction of seconds wala latency. Why is it so? Because we
Right.
have edge location nearby somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is, but nearby somewhere it is, which always keeps me connected. Okay, so that's edge location for you.
Okay. So
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. Yeah. So within Bangalore, we have a knowledge of how many edge locations are available in and around
I
to
exactly
whatever.
don't know, but yes, we can figure it out. Google is there. We'll figure it out. Erase these drawings. Edge, AWS, edge locations on globe. Hmm. Okay, let me go for the latest one. AWS edge location, India. Okay, so CloudFront edge cache. So this is looks save image, desktop, save. Can I maximize this? See, basically these are not the latest ones. So edge location are the blue dots. So this is not the latest one. I can assure you this. I'm not able to find the latest one. Basically, delete. I don't need this. Okay, let me look for something latest. Okay, how many edge locations AWS has? Okay, so let me see this article if it gives some light on that. EDGE as location in India. Okay, I don't see the information, at least the latest information I don't see here. Okay, but I can assure you that edge locations are not data centers basically. So they are servers which are somewhere near to you. So here if you see there are 11 regions, okay, and 155 edge locations. So obviously edge locations are almost everywhere. It is says it is there in 65 countries across 29 65 cities across 29 countries. So basically all the majorly populated country where IT crowd is more or people are more or IT users are more, basically I can say like these are the places. So these are not the latest ones still. So in India, if you see, there are two dots basically. One is obviously somewhere here Hyderabad area, somewhere in Mumbai area, or somewhere here you can say Bangalore area. I can't exactly tell you where it is, but they are there, and it will cache the content for you. Okay, so let me come back to my topic which I was discussing. So what I was saying is cache memory. Come back again. Could not hear you.
Yeah, definition. Any? Do you have any definition?
I'll show you the definition also. I'll show you the definition.
Okay.
Okay. So now the user is not directly talking to the server, rather the user is talking to the nearest edge location. So this communication is done. This communication is done. Now, next time, if some user who wants a similar content, so this user wanted a movie, let me say Bahubali. This user also wants the same movie. So it does not make sense that I start one more channel like this. Why to do this? So I take a content and I ask this user to take the content from here. So this is CDN or cloud delivery network for me. And this is happening because I'm using services of CloudFront. If you want a definition for this, it is this is the definition. So it says a CDN network or a CDN is a system of distributed servers that deliver web pages and other web content to users based on geographical locations of the user, the origin of the web page, and the content delivery server. So any such content which are being used by multiple people are stationed or put at your edge locations, and these edge locations will help you to grab or to bring that thing quickly to you. Okay, like Netflix, if everybody is watching that same movie, it will not always hit the main server. It will hit the nearest edge location where it is already cached. From there it will pull the content. So the same concept we are also using when we are using CloudFront. To make this more clear, I have something else. AWS, not AWS, I think here. Elastic introduction. Yeah, here I guess. Something like this. Okay, so you being a user, you will request something, and that request may not directly go to your website. Here, S3 or that website, it will go to the edge location first. If the content is available in the edge location, it will be served then and there. If it is not available, it will go to the main server, the main location. Then it will be served via edge location. Next time somebody asks for the same content, he will get it from the edge location. He need not go back to the server. And coming to the edge location, I have a small diagram. No, this is not for edge locations basically. So this is how edge locations and your CDN will work. And with the definition, edge locations are the endpoints of AWS which are used to cache the content. Typically, this consists of CloudFront, Amazon Cloud Delivery Network. There are many more edge locations than region. Currently, there are 150 edge locations, and it keeps on increasing. Okay, so hopefully I've answered all the questions here. If it's so, I'll proceed. Mohammed, is it answered?
Yeah, you can proceed.
Okay, Ankita, nothing from your end also, right?
No, Vikas, all clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, where was I? Not this also. Close this. Okay, so I was somewhere here, and let me go to my. So the instance is ready. It should be at this point of time. So let me go to my EC2 instance and see if the content or the EC2 instance is ready or not. So it is running. Let me say this is project. Okay, now I will have a public IP for this with which I can connect. So I'll have a public IP. I'll take the public IP. I'll go to internet and I will try to connect. Yeah, it is connecting. So a WordPress website has just now started. It says DB name and all those things. So let's go. Let's start. So database name. So if you remember what was my database name, well and good. If you don't remember, I will go back to RDS and take my stuffs from there. RDS. So the DB instance and my first DB123 is the name. I'll take that only. And I also have an endpoint. Okay, I need this endpoint. So I'll copy this endpoint. Endpoint is basically the entry point, you can say. Okay, so the name is my first DB123. So I will say my first DB123. Username is also same only. My first DB123. Now why am I doing this? Because many times we tend to forget our username and password, and I don't want to be stuck there. Database host name. So host name, you have to give it your endpoint, wp-ok, submit. If everything is good, it will go to the next page. Here it says that, sorry, but I can't find wp-config php. Okay, so it says I don't find it. You can create wp-config.php manually by copy pasting the below content. Let me do that in that case. So back to my EC2 instance. And my running instance. Inside my project, first I will try to connect. So I'll try to connect via browser. If it is connecting well and good, else I will try putty. Okay, luckily got connected. I will say sudo su, I'll become a root user. I will say cd, I'll come to home directory. Then I will say cd /var /ww html. This is the place where I have installed everything. Okay, if you want to see ls-l, enter. So all the software related stuffs, whatever I got or I downloaded from WordPress website, it is here. So it is saying that you have to manually, sorry, it is asking me to manually create. You can create wp-config.php. Okay, so I will manually create it. I can use vi editor or nano editor. Okay, so I will say nano nano control v. Okay, wp-config.php, enter. So a page or editor has opened. What I'm going to do is I'll click here, Control A, Control C, and I will go there and say Control V. Everything copy pasted. Here it says to exit, give Control X. So Control X. It says to save, give Y. So Y, enter. Done. I've saved it. Okay. Now I'll say clear. And now if I say ls-l, I will be able to see that wp-content. What was that? wp-config.php. Okay, so I have that wp-config.php. Now let me say, after you have done run, click on run the installation. So if everything is good, you have not done any mistake, you get this page. So basically you will configure your credentials here. So I will say welcome all from AWS. I'll say like this. Username. So my first DB123. Oh, sorry. My first DB123, and the password also I'll put it like that only. It's a weak password, no problem. Confirm I'm using a weak password. Now email address, where do you want to get the notifications? I'll give this email address. If you don't want Google to search your website, then you check this. If you want Google to search, then don't do anything. Install WordPress. If everything is good, it will take me to the next page. Yeah, done. So do I need to save the save? Okay, save it. Now it says login. Now, because you are the administrator, you are the owner of this website, you will have the credentials to log in. And if you have used that signed URL, others will also be using this page. But never mind, I will be using my credentials, which I just now created, my first DB123. Remember me, login. And here I go. My website will get launched. And this website is ready. Now, few things. It is not secure because I don't have a SSL certificate. Okay, and I'm not using the latest version because I don't have PHP's latest version, which will support the latest version. But you can always update it. It will work. What you can do with this website, you can post, or like Facebook, you post your this thing, right? Here also you can do the same. So say add new. So I'll add a new post. Okay, so let me start. So it says add a title. So I will give a title like welcome all from AWS. Something subtitle kind of thing. So I will say my first website from AWS. And if you want to have some media content in the sense some photos, let me say I'll download something, images of nature. Let me save image. Where is it? Text, save it. Okay. Now I want to upload that image. Okay. So like Facebook, you want to upload an image. So let me come to images, upload desktop. So the image, open, and here you go. It gets uploaded. If you want, you can maximize this. Let me say I'm maximizing this, and done. This is done. If you want, you can write more stuffs. Just say publish, and if you wanted to make it immediately and publicly visible, just say publish. Done. Now, if you want, you yourself can view the post. If you want to copy the link and share with your friends, you can do that. But the problem is I have not used Route 53 till now. That's why I'm getting this kind of address. But if I start using Route 53, I'll get a proper website name like www.flipkart.com. Okay. So let me view the post. How does it look? So this is what people will look. So this is the username, date. People can, obviously I'm a admin, so I get this edit button, but others will not get. They can leave a comment. If I have written something, they'll read the content, they'll see the image, and if they like it, they can come here and they can leave a comment. Okay. It is not a Facebook website where they can like and dislike and react to that. All those features are not there, but they can do many things. You can also do many things. You can customize the content and many things can be done here. Okay. But remember, this website or this kind of website is only for learning purpose. Okay. If you want a commercial usage of this kind of website, then you will have to add more features. Okay. To add more features, you'll come here. Okay. You have something called plugins. Say add new. And you have a bunch of plugins available. If you want this to act like a learning website like Edureka, L-E-A-R, okay. So you have these many websites. You can just say install now and you will get a lot of websites and you can start using it as a commercial stuff. You have to obviously make few changes. We have to buy a SSL certificate and you have to pay these guys some amount of money. Few of them will be free. Okay. Few of them will be chargeable. So you have to take care of that. If I want to make it a e-commerce website, so e-commerce. So you have WooCommerce, you have some commercial websites like WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is used at many places I've seen. So like that, if you want it to work like a Gmail kind of this thing, so mail service. So there are a bunch of plugins available. So you can have something like Outlook, you can have something like Gmail. So you just go with the plugin and you will get it and you can use it. If you want to make this as a networking site, okay, but remember this is only for learning purpose. Okay, so Peepso, where user can create profile and do social networking. So you can create a website with this. It will be 100% full-fledged website with all the features. The only thing is based on what features you want, you can use it. If you want, you can make it a bank software also. Obviously, you have to customize. So some PRIS bank, WooCommerce payment gateway. Obviously, you can do many things from here. But I'm repeatedly saying this is only for learning purpose. When you're there in your interview, don't say that I have launched a website using yeah, WordPress. Because everybody knows that WordPress is something which we only use for learning purpose. So you can say that I have launched a website and the code or the front end code was written by developers. I just launched it. So when you're launching the website, you don't do anything extra. You do everything what we have done. The only one extra thing what you will be doing is, I'll just show you here. We are just pulling the content from internet. So this is the internet content. This is the website content. This content is a ready-made content available on internet. For a commercial this thing, companies don't go for this. You will have developers who will do front-end coding for you. Some Java developers, JavaScript, Node.js, AngularJS, those kind of developers will be there who will develop the code and they will give it to you. You have to just pull the code from their repository. If they are using Git or anything like that, you have to pull the code from there. Okay, so there's the only difference. Apart from that, there's no difference. Okay, you will get the code. You don't, as a AWS developer, as a AWS architect, as a AWS guy, you are not expected to write the code. If you are willing to code, then you need to be a Python developer or you need to be a Node.js developer, like that. That's an entirely different course. Okay, so don't get worried about that. So this is one part of the project. Still I have two more things to be done. Okay, now these two more things, you're okay, right? Or should I stop? Guys, you're okay or should I stop? Would you like to practice and then let me continue, or should I continue?
No, if you want, you can continue for some more time.
Okay, so I'll do two more things here. Okay, so what I will do is, let me come here. So is this running? So I told that I will take a backup of my reload. So I told you that, I told you that I will take a backup of my code. So let me do that. Okay, so I come to cd /var html www html. Okay, now if I say ls-l, you have something called wp content. Okay, I'll go inside this cd. If I go inside this, sorry, I see something called uploads. So whatever I'm uploading, the images basically will get stored here. I'll go inside cd uploads ls 2020 ls, sorry. So the image which I downloaded just now, and sorry, I uploaded just now, is stored here. Okay, so whatever you upload, it will get stored here. It is basically getting stored in your EBS volume of your EC2 instance. Okay, now I want to take a backup of this. So let me come out, uploads. So I will say pwd present working directory. Where I am? Where am I? So I'm here. I want to take a backup of this WP content. Inside this, I have all my images basically. Okay. So first thing, I will check whether I have access to S3 or not. So AWS S3 ls. This is a CLI command. If I have AWS S3 access, I will get this. If I don't have S3 access, I will not get. But if you remember, I have attached a role to my EC2 instance. So I'm getting this power or this, right? Now I want to copy the content. So I'll say AWS S3 CP. CP is copy command, minus recursive. Recursive means all the folder, subfolder, everything I want to copy. Who is the source? So this guy is the source. And who is the destination? So this is the, so I will put it in the media bucket. So this is the destination. So name, you don't write it like this. Bucket name, you write it like this. Okay, done. So basically what will happen is everything will get copied to my bucket. Now let me go back to my bucket and see if the content really got copied. Where it came? Services S3. What happened? Services S3. So I am there in my media bucket. So uploads 2020 01, and this is my image. Okay. Now similarly, I will also try to take a backup of my code. So where is the code? cd dot dot ls. So this is the code. Okay. pwd. This is the source. So I will say AWS S3 CP minus minus recursive. This is the source. So source, and the destination will be S3 colon double backslash, and I will take the bucket name. Basically, I'll put it in the other bucket. Okay, Control C. Let me ls my AWS S3 ls. Let me see the bucket name. So the command will be something like this: AWS S3 and the bucket name. Done. Now what will happen is it will copy. It will take some time because there are a lot of codes. So it will copy the content slowly, one by one, folder by folder, everything to my S3 bucket. So what all I have achieved here? So as of now, I have achieved few things. So I have a EC2 instance which is running behind a which is running in front of a RDS. I don't have multi-AZ, but I have the RDS. This EC2 instance content is getting copied to my media bucket and my code bucket. I have to introduce ELB and auto scaling group. VPC, I'm using the default one. CloudFront, I have to, I have created, but I have to configure this. Route 53, again, I have to configure. So let me wait for this thing, your media bucket to get, the code bucket to complete. Then I will go for my load balancer. We'll go for application load balancer. Okay, code. So basically, it will copy the content. So it's still going on, I guess. No, it's done. So this is the entire code, and it has been copied to my bucket. Okay. So I have the backup done. Now I told you that I'll go to my load balancer. So I'll go to EC2. From there, I will use my application load balancer. So we are not using classic load balancer. This time we'll be using application load balancer. So let me come here, load balancer. I will create a load balancer. I am not using this. I'm going to use my application load balancer, and I will give a name. So let me say my application LB, something like this. Is it internet facing? Yeah, it's not internal, it is internet facing. It is IPv4. Who is listening? So HTTP is listening. Then availability zone, which all availability zone you want to put it. I'll put it in all the availability zones. Tag, if you want to tag anything, yes, I want to tag name my application CA, my application load balancer. Configure security settings. Let me go. Nothing I have to do. Then it is saying, do you have a security group or you want me to create? So I already have a security group. So my web security group is what I already have. I will not use the default one. No, sorry. I'll be using the project security group. Sorry. So I'll use project security group, configure routing. So for routing, I will need a target group. So let me say my new target group. What you want to monitor or what do you want to route? I want to route my instances, HTTP traffic, and this is 80. And if you remember path, so path is what are you going to check? So if you remember the code I have in my code, there is a HTML page basically. So let's say plus minus. So yeah, healthy.html is what I'm going to check. So if healthy.html is readable or achievable, means the instance is up and running. So the path is healthy.html. Do you want any advanced health checks? Let me click here. Let me see what is there. Again, the same thing. What is the healthy threshold? So let me put it 2. Unhealthy threshold 2. Timeout. After how much time you will say it's a timeout, and after how much time you will go and check. So let me say, I'll say 5 only, or let me say 6. Success code 200 and target group. Done. So I have done all these things. So it is running. Just click on this, add to register. So registered and review and create. So I just now created an application load balancer. Now the question which can come is, you had told that application load balancers are smart. They know what to do. They know how it is done. Where did you, or it did not happen like that? So the answer is yes. We will see that. Let me refresh that first. This is my load balancer. Now if you come here, if you see to the listeners, here you can view or edit rules. It's not a simple rule. You can edit the rules. So this is how you want to change it. You say if the request is coming from US, put it to amazon.co.us. If the request is coming from UK, put it to amazon.co.uk. If it is coming from India, say amazon.co.in. So here you can add rules and you can delete the rules, add rules, and accordingly your rules will help you to route the traffic. So this is the intelligence which your application load balancer brings. Apart from that, most of the things remain same. So in description, everything is there. So in description, if you see, I have a DNS name. And remember one thing, that your load balancers does not have IP address. Okay, it's a very common interview question. I'm not getting the IP address for my load balancer. Load balancer does not come with IP addresses. Rather they come up with your DNS names. So rather than using this, I will be using my DNS name. Control V. Let's see what it responds. So still it is not up. I'll wait for some time and do it again. So load balancer, listener, monitoring, listeners. Okay, sorry, I have to do one more thing. So target groups. Here in the target groups, I have to add the target basically. So let me maximize this. This I have to edit and I have to add this as a target. Okay. So add to registered. This is already there. This is already there, I guess. Cancel. Target. Registered target. One target is already there. So I think it should work. Health check. Monitoring. Tags. Description. Okay, let me try this again. Yeah, now it is. So now if you see, I'm using my application load balance IP address, and with that I'm getting the host which I have just now done. To add to this, what I can do is I will go to my route 53, route 53, and if you have a hosted zone there, means you have an IP address, you can quickly, I don't have it here, but I'll try to show you. So what I'm going to do is get started. I don't have a domain name here. It's a different account. So I'll just show you, but it will not work. Okay. So create hosted zone. So let me create hosted zone, and let me say that my website, which I have bought, the domain name is www.cloudonvikas.com. Let me say it is there. Though it is not there, let me say it is there. And it is a public hosted zone. Let me create it. Now I have NS and SOA, but I cannot edit because this is not working for me. So what am I going to do is I'll create a record set here. I will only give, this is, if you see here, sorry, this is a address or a IPv4 address. So I'll give the name we just now got from the load balancer, and I'll create it. It will not get created because I have not saved the, or this is not registered to my name basically. So if I would have done that, this would have saved it. And rather than using it like this, I could have said that www.cloudonvikas.com, and I would have got this web page. But as of now, I don't have it, so it will not show it to me. And the last topic for this is my auto scaling. Okay. So quickly, let me jump to auto scaling. Auto scaling, anyhow, I've shown you earlier also, but I'll show you again. Here, how do you do auto scaling? So here you say auto scaling benefits, get started. So I don't think this is auto scaling. Services, EC2.
Hi Vikas. Hello. Hello.
Sorry. Uh, 1 second. Huh. Actually, my power went off, so I had to like I was on a pause for a while. Now, last thing
Okay.
what I yeah what I'm going to do here is EC2, and this EC2 will take me to auto scaling groups. So for auto scaling, the first thing I need is a launch configuration. Launch configuration is like launching a EC2 instance only. The only thing is I don't actually launch an instance. I just create a template. Okay. Before that, I have everything done. I have done the hard work. I have done all the software installation. My software is running, backup, everything is there. Why should I not preserve it, or why should I not keep it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a AMI of this. Okay. So this is my project. This is my AMI. I'm going to create an image out of this, and I will say my golden image. My golden image. Same thing is the description, and 8 GB is okay. I'll create an image. And going forward, I'll be using this image only to create new instances. Okay. So I have just now created an image. If I go to AMI, it is pending. It will get launched in some time. But going forward, I'll be using this image so that I don't have to do the hard work again. I have done everything, RDS, CloudFront, all those things I have done. Okay. Now, CloudFront, I have to do that. Okay. So I am coming here. So I go to my launch configuration, and in my launch configuration, I say create launch configuration. I'm going to use not these images, but in my images, you will see your image, the image which you have just now created. So my golden image, select, and then rest remains as it is. So what is the launch configuration name? So say my golden launch configuration. IAM role, yes, I have IAM role. Add storage, 8 GB is okay. Security group, I have a security group. So project security group, review, launch configuration. I have a key value pair, create launch. And from here, I can directly go to the auto scaling group. So it says create auto scaling group from the launch configuration. Click here. It says group name. So my golden auto scaling group. Okay, and the launch configuration is my golden launch configuration. How many instances you want? Let me say I want 3 instances. Where do you want? So this is my default VPC. Which subnet you want? I will choose all the subnets. So put it in any of the subnet. I'm okay with everything. Done with this, and I will say next. Shit, previous. So it says, do you want that your instance size should be normal, or do you want that it should scale up and scale as per the demand? So I start with 3 and I say if the load is more, you scale it high. It's 6. How do you calculate that? So anytime if your CPU utilization goes more than 70%, then scale it up. And then notification, if you want to send notification, you can use this tag. So this is auto scaling, review, create auto scaling. So now my auto scaling will start working. So it will take some time to create the auto scaling. Once auto scaling is done, in EC2 instance, you will see more and more new instances will get automatically launched. I have told 3. So minimum 3 instances will run, and whenever the load is more, another 3 will also scale up. So this is done. The last thing what I'm going to do is that I will go inside my EC2 instance. And reload. Meanwhile, I'll come here, I will come to my services, I will come to CloudFront, and I will take the endpoint address. So this is the CloudFront. This is the domain name. Basically, this is what I need, domain name. And back to this thing, cd /var /www/html. What happened? Got stuck. Come on, man, come on. Close. Okay, I'll close this. I'll open a new one. Service EC2 running instance, project, connect, EC2 instance, connect. I'll say sudo su. I will say cd. I'll say cd /var /www /html. Now I want to see the hidden files, so I'll say ls-la. Here I will see there is something called htaccess. Okay, I'll copy this and I'll say nano, and I'll go inside this. Now if you go here, there is something cloudfront.net. Now this is not what I need. I need my new one which I have created. Okay, so I will just delete this and I'll paste the one. Sorry, array, where is CloudFront? So I'll take this and I'll paste it. So I'll remove the htaccess thing, paste this, Control S, so Control X, and I'm done. So this is, I've changed it. I'll clear. Now after some time, like not immediately, after some time you will see that your CloudFront is also started working. So this is what I had planned to do, and this is what I have implemented. So I have Route 53, I have CloudFront, I have VPC default one, I have load balancer, I have auto scaling, and all these things are there up and running at this point of time. Okay, so guys, if you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, please put it there in the WhatsApp group. I will share the recordings with you. Just go through the recordings and practice it, which is mandatory. Okay, any doubts, put it there in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so I'll close this meeting and then please practice it and make sure that you get all your questions answered. Okay, so bye bye.